So today's topic is how do we do the multiplicatives, like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, right? So this is the goal for this class, is you'll be able to take the numbers that you learn, and you'll basically be able to talk about number followed by the times. But in Hindi also we have the suffix called Guna. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna talk about it. So we have this suffix called Guna, K with U and then Na, which is basically nothing but times, right? And I'm gonna share it again. And you can use Guna for any measurable and comparable nouns that increase or decrease in the amount, strength, or intensity. And throughout the class, you will see multiple examples of that. Yeah. So let's keep going and let's strengthen about the concept of Guna. Okay. How do you use Guna in your day-to-day life or in different numbers? So you take the number in a very simple way. You take the number and you put Guna next to it. Now there are some irregular use of it as well as the regular use. But for simplicity, right now, let's just say that you take the number and you put Guna next to it. As simple as if you just take the number 2, I'm going to just say do. Number 3 is, very good. And 4 is, and if I put Guna next to it, it becomes, do Guna, 3 Guna, 4 Guna. Because these are any number below 8, there are, there are different ways to say it as well. Because they are used so frequently, do Guna, rather than 2 different words, it becomes Duguna. Okay, which is same as do Guna. And if it is simple, you can simply say do Guna, right? So you will hear 2 terms. You can say Duguna or you can say do Guna. Same thing for this. You will hear Tiguna or Teen Guna. Okay, for 4 you will hear Char Guna or Chau Guna. Okay, Char Guna or Chau Guna, which means 4 times as much. Okay, we'll see different examples, but just want to make sure everybody is comfortable with that. Yes, there are some overlap between both of them, but there are cases where you can use bar, you cannot use Guna, and there are cases where you can use Guna but not bar. Okay, when you do something a certain number of occurrences, that's where you will say that bar. For example, if you've gone to Greece 4 times, you say मैं Greece 4 बार गया हूँ. You will not say 4 Guna gaya hu. If your number of travel is increased by 2 times, okay, intensity is increased, the occurrences, you can say that mera travel 4 Guna बढ़ गया है. My travel is increased by 4 times. Yeah, so we will definitely cover those examples as well. But any questions on the basics so far? Anyone? What is the word for Hindi for profit? Faida. Faida, and we also use the word munafa, which is derived from Urdu but pretty common in Hindi as well. Faida or munafa. Or you will also hear the word called labh, which is labh. Okay. Let's take another opposite of it. Loss would be in Hindi nuksan. You have a na with u, k, sa with a, and then na. Nuksan. So you have faida and you have nuksan. You will have 2 times profit. You don't have to make the entire sentence. You just have to say 2 times profit. Duguna faida. Okay. What is the word for rent in Hindi? K with E, you have R with A, and then Y with A. Okay? Kiraya. Yeah? Kiraya. Let's say you move to a different city. Your salary is increased let's say 2 times, but your rent has increased 4 times. Your income, the word for income, vetan, okay, very good, it's a good one. You can say vetan. Okay, you can also say the word called amdani. Okay, like a mango, dani, amdani, salary, or vetan is correct as well. So 2 times salary would be, okay, duguna vetan, double, my salary is double. Okay, मेरी सैलरी दुगनी हो गई है. Okay, हो गई है, it's like you're using हो जाना, right? So compound verb, हो गई है. लेकिन मेरा किराया, my rent has increased 5 times. Okay, मेरी सैलरी दुगनी हो गई है, लेकिन मेरा किराया 5 गुना बढ़ गया है. Okay, I know it's longer, so you can say x, which is something you are comparing, y से गुना है. Okay, so you can say apple, which is your x, banana से 5 गुना, let's say I'll keep it simple, expensive है. एप्पल बनाना से 5 गुना एक्सपेंसिव है. तो दुगुनी सस्ती है. Okay, now so far, so if you notice it, we have a noun and we are describing some sort of a quality. So we are using these duguna, tiguna, charguna almost like adjectival phrases. Like, so we learned the numbers, we learned how to say it in times, and we are trying to compare, contrast things. So this is the use is almost like an adjective, and as a result of it, they are also, they get inflected based on the noun. So if you're using the noun which is masculine singular, masculine plural, feminine singular, feminine plural. So far, we've used duguna, tiguna, charguna, because almost all the nouns we've used, they are masculine singular. Okay, the moment you use the feminine singular, duguna or doguna becomes duguni. Okay, so it's ending with e. Teen guna or tiguna becomes tiguni. Char guna or choguna becomes choguni. Like salary is feminine, so choguni salary. Yeah, so we'll go back. I hope you guys are following it. So far we have learned the concept of guna. How do you sort of use it as a suffix and add in front of the number? The second concept we are learning is that just like adjectives, these are inflected, right? So they change based on what type of noun they are being used with, right? I'll go back to my screen. So if you have a question, I'll give you time. So, hold on to the question. So just to go back, we learned faida is profit, nuksan is loss. Let's say kharche, which is a plural. Okay, expense is kharcha. If it is plural, is kharche. Okay, so kharcha, it's just think of, I'm just going to write kharcha, not anything else. Kharcha versus kharche. One expense versus many expenses, kharche. Similarly, work, is kaam. Okay, now I want all of you to start thinking, how will you use any of those sort of the multiplicatives we have done so far. Okay, and then you write it in the Zoom comment. An example would be duguna faida, tiguna nuksan. You can use any of those multiplicatives, but it's very useful for you to get used to the shorter phrases. मेरी कंपनी को दुगुना फायदा हो रहा है. Okay, मुंबई कोलकाता से 10 गुना महंगा है. So he used the word saw, as you guys know, is 100. right? So you can put just saw guna 100 times more, and which is used in a rough sense, but yeah, saw guna is like many times more, right? Many times multiplicatives. Okay, very good. Any questions, anyone so far? You will hear Hindi speakers using dugna. Colloquially, they will also use duna. Okay, because they're saying it so fast, they almost don't say the word, the gu part. So it becomes duna. So colloquially, it means it's the same thing, but it just because they're saying it so fast, they skip the letter altogether. Yeah. So basically, there are numbers below 8. There is an irregular use of it as well. That's why you will see them. It becomes one word. It's no longer a suffix. Okay, and here there's a regular use of it, which is number, and you add guna to it. It's a subtle difference, but I hope you're noticing that. Right? So we done the examples. Now I want all of you to scan these words. Okay, and these are some of, we use them, but not so. So these are sort of intermediate level vocabulary, right? So faida, a price for something, right? कीमत or दाम, or and then similarly hard work, mehnat. All of these things that I have written down, they increase or decrease. Okay, either qualitatively or quantitatively. So after becoming mom बनने के बाद उसकी जिम्मेदारियां 10 गुना बढ़ गई है. Yeah, very good. So it's almost like मेरा आत्मविश्वास, my confidence is 2 times more. So my, as you know, is मेरा confidence और आत्मविश्वास अब now दुगुना है. Right? My confidence is 2 times now. Ab, by saying ab, you're really comparing it from before. So one is like Ron, John से लंबा है. Okay? और 3 गुना लंबा है. Okay? और स्टेसी सारा से 3 गुनी लंबी है. Right? So you see, the moment when I was using lamba, it's like, 3 guna. If I change it to feminine, it's 3 guni. Okay, so मैं duguni, or you can just say, let's say Sarah दुगुनी रफ्तार से तैरती है. Okay, Sarah दुगुनी रफ्तार से तैरती है. Okay, I'll keep it very simple, and that's how I will say it. दुगुनी रफ्तार से तैरती है. Yeah. So you can say simply X, whichever the medication, Y से दुगुनी असरदार है. Right? I'm going to share my screen again. So X, Y से दुगुनी असरदार है. So this is the one which is superior or inferior. Right? Are you comparing against to Y से? Whatever is compared against, X, Y से दुगुनी असरदार है. Okay, so you can use it either way. You can use asar also, but my sentence will slightly change, right? But this is effective. You can say also X का असर Y से दुगुना है. Just like in English, you can use effective versus effect, right? I mean, the effect of X is twice as much as Y, or X is twice as effective as Y. I do want to cover the reading paragraph as well. So I have the conversation written in both Devanagari and Romanagari. There are 2 sort of folks here, Ravi and Jenny. Good one. Okay. What other word? Vah. This also was difficult. This is nice. Wonderful. Alka is light. Okay. Okay. Right. Any other words which were hard? Right. So this time we will read and we'll translate also. Okay. So sahi galat, sahi and galat. Opposite of sahi is galat. Galat is wrong. Sahi is right. So it's well said. Sahi kaha. I hope at least you got, even if you kind of go over the duguna, tiguna, that itself will sort of make you comfortable. Okay. I just want to take one more minute, and I just wrote few articles. I know Sunny also mentioned about the one of the EVs, right? So I was like BYD, right? So you will see it's used pretty commonly in the news articles, right? So I'm going to give you some time, each of you, to read it, okay? And at least tell me what this article may be talking about, because you typically read the headline traditionally, and then it's appealing or not. And if it is appealing, you will read the full article, right? So I didn't have any Romanagari here because we are into the advanced section of the class. So basically, yeah, very good actually. So Chin is used for China. Okay, that's the Hindi word for China. Chin ne banai aisi battery. So you can see. So it could be their typo also, but I think that's what they are trying to highlight, that they've made such a battery. Like China has made a battery, such a battery, which 4 गुना तक बढ़ा देगी EV की range. That will increase the range of the electrical vehicle up to 4 times. 4 गुना तक बढ़ा देगी EV की range. Then they're saying Tesla or BYD को टक्कर. So this is the sort of the giving the competition to both Tesla and BYD. So this is not a takkar in terms of collision, but takkar in terms of like the competition, if you will. Right? So you can see the sentences are not written in the SOV form, right? Where you can see that, China, so you can see that they've kind of changed the structure of it, but that's how the headlines are written. Okay? So the first question would be, what is Hriday? Yes, heart. By looking at the picture, Hriday is heart. Yes, they're not, because they want the picture to look nice, right? So that's why they don't put heart, they put the dil basically. But yeah, heart. Pratyaropan. What do you think it could mean? Here you go, the doctor is speaking. Heart transplant, right? Heart transplantation. The heart transplant is increased by 10 times in India because of whatever. Then the article may be talking about why. Is it like a increase in technology, past tense, right? So it increased by 10 times. The heart transplant increased by 10 times in India. Okay, we'll do the last one. Okay, beautiful. Okay, what is the new word here? Okay, Kisan is, what is Kisan? Take a look at the picture. And Kisan, and there is a post position, and they're talking about many farmers, right? So it's a singular and plural, but because it says ladka becomes ladko, right? What is I? Income. Yes, exactly. It's an interrogative sentence, right? It's starting with kya. There's a question mark at the end. Has the income of the villagers or farmers doubled yet, right? So, and then they are probably doing analysis of it, whether it is sort of really indeed doubled, or it's the same, or it's really decreased or not.